What a game, what a win, what a time to be a Hull City fan. Hello there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel, where today I'll be going through the absolutely intense, bonkers game that we've just seen. Hull City grabbing their first away win of the season, and furthermore, breaking Birmingham City's 29 league game home unbeaten streak. And that is something worthy of note as well. Fantastic performance, this one. Not the best performance from Hull City, but they got the job done. And, I mean, it was a bonkers game from start to finish. We had tensions boiling over, fights nearly happening, red cards, penalties, all the likes. I mean, pretty much everyone on the Hull City squad got a yellow card. So let's go through what this bonkers game was that we saw at St Andrews. Of course, on the road, Hull City grabbing their first away win of the season, being the big output in a Hull City point of view. Goal-wise, well, it was a bit of an intense first half, met by an intense finish of the game. Hull City opened the scoring as Jack Robinson scored an own goal for Hull City, as it looked like it was going to be Kyle Joseph, and then took a really... it was an awful play from Jack Robinson, who had an awful game. He was the one that got sent off for Birmingham City and also scored the own goal. So it was an awful day that he wants to forget. But it was a nice sort of effort from Hull City. Ollie McBurney laid it through Kyle Joseph into the area, snuck it underneath the keeper, and then it was probably not going to go in all fairness. And, I mean, Jack Robinson just stumbled over the ball and just plonked it into the back of his own net, so thanks for that. Then Jay Sansfield grabbed one a little bit later on, close range finish, and then Regan Slater finished out the first half with an absolutely fantastic Tom Eaves-esque header that found the top corner. That was in the first half injury time. That was, of course, after the tensions boiled over. We'll talk about that in a second. We're just talking about the goals at the moment. Then the second half happened. Things were pretty much stalemate, even 2-1. It looked like Hull City were going to try and hold on for a 2-1 win. As said, we do need to grab a goal, though. Birmingham City can easily grab a goal like that. They have the players that can do it. And we desperately needed it, because it ended up being the winning goal that Joe Geltart scored in the 93rd minute. That being a pass from Liam Miller inside the area, and Geltart just had to send it into the back of the net. He did so, and Miller grabs his first assist back since his injury, and things look happy for Hull City. 3-1 up, and then a penalty for Birmingham City. I said everything in this game, and it was truly everything. So Birmingham City had a penalty. Jay Sansfield took it. He put it away. Ivo Panda wasn't able to replicate what he did against Sheffield United, but that doesn't matter, because Hull City came out with a minute left as the 3-2 victors. I mean, the amount of injury time played in this game, probably enough to make up another entire half of football, but that's besides the by. And fantastic stuff here from City to go on the road, a place where Birmingham City control the field. They had 65% possession when all things were said and done. At one point, it was about 70-75% possession for Birmingham City in this game. So Hull City held out very well. 35% possession for Hull City. That's all they had in this game. But they took their chances. They had their chances. They looked well. They looked strong defensively, I must say. Yes, they allowed Birmingham City to have a lot of the ball. Yes, they allowed them to get up the field. I'm choking on my own words because of how intense this game was. They allowed Birmingham City to get up the field with the ball. That happened. That can happen all day long. Hull City walks away with the win, and in intense fashion. I mean, we'll go on to the battle that happened between pretty much everyone from Hull City and everyone from Birmingham City, as Kyle Joseph, he had a bit of a intense pushing situation. He sort of did a bit of a reckless challenge on someone from Birmingham City. Then it was on Roberts, from Birmingham City. And then Birmingham City players were very intense by that. No foul given by the referee. Let's say that it wasn't a foul. And then Stansfield came through, shoved on Joseph, and then the tensions boiled over. Someone from the Hull City bench, one of the coaches, came into the situation. Birmingham Birmingham City's manager started mouthing off to the Hull City coach, and then everything sort of tensions boiled over. It looked like punches were going to get thrown on the field as there was a massive huddle formed, and then Tom Huddleston, who knew Tom Huddleston was on the coaching team for Birmingham City? He came out into the situation trying to get involved, and he ended up getting himself a yellow card through the situation. So did the guy from the Hull City bench. And, I mean, I'll quickly go through everyone who got carded in this game from Hull City. So, Ollie McBurney got a yellow card. Joe Geltart, David Akintola, John Egan, Louis Coyle, Ivor Pandas. That's 6 from the starting 11. Along with that, Matt Crooks and Ennis Dessan, who came off the bench. We'll talk about them in a bit. So we're up to 8. The coach on the bench, that makes it 9. Let's include the Birmingham City one. So 9 yellow cards for Hull City in this game. Birmingham City had 1 for Beadle. They had a subsequential 2 for Robinson. Stansfield got himself 1. And then they also had 2 on the bench. So there was 15 yellow cards in this game. 15! Yeah, you can't even count them on your hands. You have to get your toes involved. 15 yellow cards in this game. That shows you how much this game meant to two sides that are pretty evenly matched this season. Both come into the game with the same record. Hull City only having the 1 better goal difference. And coming out, Hull City see themselves 1 point shy of playoffs now, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, that's, as I'm recording this, still waiting for Leicester Portsmouth to kick off. But I don't think that will affect our place in the table because of how things situate. I think Leicester are above us, and I believe Portsmouth are so far beneath us that it doesn't matter. I will quickly check. Portsmouth, yeah, they're there. Leicester above us, yeah. So it don't matter. We could still be, or we could move less out of playoff points-wise, but we're not going to move from 10th. That's our place at the moment up until Tuesday, when we face off against Leicester City at the MKM Stadium, Tuesday night football. But after this one, I mean, Hull City can do pretty much anything. They didn't have the best game, we will say. Wasn't the best quality football we've seen from start to finish from Hull City. We've seen that, but they had the moments when it counted. Let's go through the team as we always do and rack through, give them a bit of a rating and talk about what they did well in this game. And then we'll of course go to our man of the match, which I've been toying between a few people, but I think I've picked the right person for the game. So, Ivor Panda in the net. He commanded his area well, made a few fantastic saves, a few actually brilliant saves in essence, a few good diving ones down to the floor quite nicely, and he made a fantastic one diving up in the air and one over the crossbar. So Ivor Panda absolutely fantastic in this one once again. Conceded the 2 goals, not really blaming him too much on the penalty. He dived the right way, just didn't manage to get a hand to it. And then the early one, Jay Stansfield, yeah, he saved the first effort from Birmingham City, and then it was the rebound effort from Jay Stansfield, which you can't blame Ivor Panda too much for not managing to save. So both goals, I don't really blame Ivor Panda, but a fantastic game for him nonetheless. Louis Coyle, before he was subbed off, we'll talk about that in a second. He was actually quite good. He got the assist for the second goal for Hull City, the Regan Slater header, and fantastic work from Louis Coyle. I thought he was possibly his best game we've seen from him this season. Getting forwards, defensive-wise, he kind of had a bit of everything. He was subbed off early in the 49th minute due to what I'm using as lip reading as a foot injury. He said something about his foot. Was then subbed off. Cody Drammer came on to replace him. We'll talk about how the subs impacted this game in a second. But Louis Coyle subbed off. We'll see how this one fares. Not worrying too much. Cody Drammer can come and fill in the job at right back. But of course, after Luke Hall has had a few good performances in a row and a good performance today, I'll be hoping that he isn't too far on the sidelines. John Egan, fantastic game for him. Back from international duty, his first bit of international duty in 2 years. Back in the starting lineup, as we anticipated. I possibly said yesterday it could be Semi Ajayi, could be John Egan. And I mean, I'm further cementing on the fact that John Egan is a fantastic footballer, and the fact that we managed to pick him up last season after being outcast from Burnley, I think he was. So fantastic stuff, John Egan. Paired up with Charlie Hughes. I mean, both of them, Charlie Hughes. Both of them had absolutely fantastic games. Blocks left, right and centre. Clearing the lines. Fantastic stuff. I mean, Charlie Hughes coming into the game was the #1 player in the championship for blocks or shots blocked. And I mean, he's going to increase that tenfold in this game because he had a few good ones early on as well, but throughout the entire game. Ryan Giles over at left back. Not the best game we've seen from Ryan Giles, but still solid Ryan Giles performance in this one. A few good chances getting forwards, and of course helped out defensively as was needed. Amir Hazai-Mitrovic, I'm going to say it, his best performance we've seen from him in a Hull City shirt. He came in to replace the injured John Lundstrom, who's out for the next 6 games. And Amir Hazai-Mitrovic, I didn't think he was going to start this one. I thought they were going to start Matt Crooks instead of him because he had a few shaky performances towards before he got that injury just before the international break. But my God, starting on Tuesday against Leicester City, he was absolutely fantastic in that midfield. Maybe a bit of an unspoken gem in that midfield in this game, as he really showed things up, especially early on when the midfield maybe wasn't fully clicking. Amir Hazai-Mitrovic was blocking things. He was playing passes forwards. He was getting hold of the ball. He was going on a bit of runs at times. So quite nicely done from Amir Hazai-Mitrovic. Regan Slater, now this is my man of the match. Of course, he got the goal, his first goal since September of last year, so over a year for Regan Slater in that goal drought, but also his play-to-play football in this game. We've been talking about how good he's been getting over the past few games. He's been increasing, really, since he came on against Preston North End at home, and we came back from that 2-0 down to 2-2, and he came on along with Liam Miller and Joe Geltart, and part of the change in that game, and was really a spark plug in that game. And he was a spark plug in this game for the majority of it. Really influential in the midfield. Got forwards nicely. Of course, got the goal as well, which is helping his claim as well. But fantastic stuff from Regan Slater in this one. And he is going to be my man of the match. It was a bit of a tough one. You could maybe give it to Joe Geltart for his unrelented ability in this one. You could maybe give it to the likes of Charlie Hughes or John Egan or Ivo Panda, as I've said. But I'm going to give it to Regan Slater, as he had a fantastic game. David Akintola next. Didn't look too bad at first half. He had a few chances, got a yellow card, and yeah, it was kind of a bit of maybe a bit of a subpar performance from David Akintola. Didn't really take the grasp of the game as we maybe have seen him done in a few games prior. Was replaced at halftime through Matt Crooks. Joe Geltart, as I've said, his unrelented ability in this one. He was really pressing to start this game on it. He was really sort of showing his energies, his commitment to the game, which I really liked, and that carried through right up until the 99th minute. It ended up being an injury time, and of course grabbing what would be the winning goal for Hull City. So fantastically done from Joe Geltart, and brilliant job filling out on the right wing again. And I maybe wouldn't move him back off there until the likes of Mohamed Baloumi is fully fit. And even then, where are you going to put Joe Geltart? Because he's not moving out of this starting lineup anytime soon. But of course, that's the problem for further down the line. And further down the line, we're going to have a very, very strong squad in our hands where we could possibly be even more cemented into this playoff picture. Kyle Joseph, I mean, I feel bad for Kyle Joseph. Right at the end, he was really trying to get his goal in this game. He came in to play strike when Ollie McBurney was subbed off, and he played fantastic, really working hard, and everything for the 79 minutes he was on the field. It was that workhorse that we have come to know from Kyle Joseph. So fantastic stuff from him in this game. Ollie McBurney, final one in starting lineup. Of course, classic stuff from Ollie McBurney. He got back, he defended, he did well up top. No assists, no goal in this game. He would have got the assist if the Kyle Joseph goal wasn't an own goal. But no assists, no goals in this game. But still a good performance from the Championship Player of the Month and the PFA Fans Player of the Month in Ollie McBurney. So can't go too wrong there. But it has been a couple of games now without a goal, so maybe would like to see another one come from He's in Your Head, McBurney. So let's talk about the subs. There was 5 of them in total. Cody Drammer came on, of course, to replace the injured Louis Coyle. He came on, shored at that defence really nicely, and helped get forwards down that right-hand side. He had a challenge right at the end of the game, a powering effort that pounced off the post. This was before Joe Geltart got the what would be the winning goal. Pounded off the post, and it looked like Drammer was on for a goal there. So Drammer had some good moments in his time on the field, along with Darko Gayabi, who had some good moments when he came on to replace Amir Hazai-Mitrovic in the 69th minute. So fantastically done from Darko Gayabi, holding out that midfield, pressing on at times. Matt Crooks, He is the player that you want to bring on, especially in a game like this. He shored things up. There was times, especially towards the end of the game, where he was holding out. He was doing his little tree moves that we know he does, where he just keeps the ball glued to his feet. The opposition have to really foul him to try and get the ball away from him. So fantastic addition into this game, and was a good substitute in the replace of the yellow-carded David Akintola. Enes Destan, he came on. He looked like he was trying to get a goal as well, and feel a bit bad for him. Of course, without a goal yet for Hull City in what was his 6th appearance, this one, all of them being off the bench in about 10-minute cameos. This one he got 11 minutes plus. He probably would have got, in the end, probably about 20 minutes all in all, including injury time. Came on the 79th minute to replace Kyle Joseph, who was gassed after he made a run forwards. Destan came on quite nicely. We know what we get from Enes Destan. Nothing too dissimilar from the performance we've seen in weeks prior. And Liam Miller, fantastic stuff. His first assist since coming back off the injured list, and good performance down the left-hand side. Really unrelenting. Build his minutes up, and it won't be too long before we're seeing a Liam Miller starting in the Championship once again for Hull City. I mean, is there too much more for me to say other than this is possibly going down as the most intense win of the season for Hull City? Possibly the biggest win for them this season. The first away win, breaking the 29-game unbeaten streak at home for Birmingham City, and also catapulting us even higher in the table. I say it is always too early to look at the table this early on. You're looking at Christmas. But with putting together performances like this, you looked at the last game before the international break, 1-0 against Sheffield United. Yes, Sheffield United team, they won today, to be fair, but they're not the best. But you're putting together performances like this. You just got to think about each game at a time. We win today. We won last time out. Can we win on Tuesday? Can we then win on the subsequent Saturday at home to... who are we at home to? Is it not Coventry? Who are we at home to on Saturday? Trying to quickly look. Charlton, that's it. Charlton. Can we put a few good performances together? Because Leicester and Charlton, they're two very good sides at the moment. Charlton up there with us in the playoff picture. Leicester even higher above us. So two very tough games lined up for Hull City in the next couple of days. Of course, Tuesday and then following a week today on Saturday. 2 home games. 2 big games for Hull City. I will have everything covering coming into these games. And of course out of these games as I cover everything throughout Hull City throughout the season. It is going to be hopefully a big season for Hull City. And even more news, content and stuff will be here on the channel throughout the weeks. So stay tuned by liking and subscribing to keep up to date with everything Hull City. And I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream. I'll see you over there. Up the Tigers. Come on!